Okay, this energy is kind of dovetailing off of the reading that I posted earlier today. If you haven't already watched that reading, you might want to go back and do that after this one, just to kind of get an idea of what I'm talking about in terms of the distinction. That earlier reading was all about a secret admirer, someone that you weren't aware of, like that you haven't encountered yet, but nevertheless has caught sight of you. This energy is a different secret admirer. So for those of you that are already resonating with this, or you're going to listen a little bit longer, hopefully to the whole video, just to get that full kind of picture, you got two people that are very focused upon you, laser focused upon you. They're coming through as very different energies, though. This particular energy, this particular secret admirer, and I'm hearing not so secret admirer. So this could be somebody that has been watching for a lot longer with this energy of wood nymph and beauty. They could be getting ready to come out of the woodwork, come out of the shadows. They're ready to take that step towards you. They can't stand just like watching and admiring any longer. There's also an energy here that this person has already made some kind of contact with you. They have already started to compliment you. They've already started to kind of sing your praise and admiration. This may be somebody you're connecting with virtually or face to face. This can be like a customer, a client, if it's a workspace connection. This can be somebody that you know within your community that is friendly, that is flirting, that you're kind of like, okay, does this person have the hots for me? Like, is this a crush? Like, what's going on? But maybe you're just in a point in your life or in your journey where you're like, I'm not going to chase, I'm the prize. So if somebody wants to approach, if they want to show me what they got, they have to make that move. So for this particular secret admirer, that is something that resonates very strongly with their preferred approach to romance. They like the fact that you are holding your position. They like the fact that you are not chasing. If this is somebody that you already have that kind of dialogue going on with, you've had some interactions, it makes them feel very empowered. The fact that you're just like sitting back and looking pretty. This is helping this person to kind of hatch a plan of action. It's stimulating this kind of like drive, this motivation to come in and almost kind of like conquer these walls that you have up. Not walls that they need to kind of climb over in order to, sort of break down your defenses, but it's almost something where it's kind of like to nestle in within the beauty of the experience of what they think would be a romance with you on the other side of those walls. But again, this takes effort to climb those walls, to, give the secret password, and then the drawbridge opens and they're granted access to sort of your inner sanctum, whatever that looks like for you. This is somebody that is very motivated to, be able to kind of hopefully claim you as their own. This is somebody who has thought about what it would be like to be able to like show you off on social media. Like, that's my girl or that's my guy. This is somebody that wants to post those selfies with you. This is somebody that wants to put those status updates. This is somebody that wants to walk around like proud as a peacock. This is my person. This person, wants to give me the time of day. This person wants to date me. They see you as a catch. The idea of entering into romance with you makes this person feel like that would be just a very exclusive experience. So however you kind of carry yourself, or maybe it's just, you could be just a very kind of humble, quiet, soft-spoken person, but there's something about you, something about your energy that just hits all the right buttons within this person. And, the idea of even kind of a quiet relationship with one another, that is something that again kind of like fills this person with a deep sense of pride. Like, that would be wonderful. Whatever would unfold between the two of you, this person is seeing would be a wonderful experience. We also have bluebird spirit, happiness. Yeah, so you make this person's day when they see you, when they get, status updates, anything that you post online, social media. Again, this is somebody who feels like that is aware of your social media profiles. This could be somebody that's like a friend with a crush. This could be somebody that is like, kind of a mutual acquaintance. So they may be sort of like seeing you through another person's social, like somebody or people that you post pictures with, or like they post pictures, like group outings, group settings, and this person is like one of their followers, their subscribers. Like, they've seen you in that way, and they may be at the point of kind of like, okay, let me try to get an introduction. let me have this other person operate as the middleman to, like, pass my number along, or to give me this person's number, get them to put in a good word for me. This could be somebody as well that is kind of hoping that they would see you at some kind of, community event, a party, a wedding, a function like that, something where it feels like, there'd be the opportunity to kind of cross that threshold of, they have all these kind of feelings, these budding feelings for you, and you're not totally aware of that yet. And the idea of kind of saying something, speaking that with this bluebird energy, this is like, a messenger. They want to send you a message. They want to tell you, they want to sing that out loud. They want to sing your praises. This is not somebody that wants to play coy. This is not somebody that wants to kind of dance around the obvious. It feels like they have been watching for long enough, they have been captivated for long enough, and this is somebody that's about to take flight in your direction. They're about to send that message. They're about to make that communication, which, as far as that other reading is concerned, that may even be like the plot thickens for that other secret admirer, because here's somebody else that, is like, may take a different approach than that person. So you may be in a point very soon of kind of like, okay, there's options, there's multiple people that are directing romantic intention towards me. We also have reflecting pool, stillness. Yeah, so this person has scripted, they have rehearsed, they have thought about it in 100 different ways, how that would all play out. They're not sure if they are your type, is what's coming through. So there may be something like an age difference, a cultural difference. It feels like this person is pretty sure that you're single, or they know that you're single, or if you're like talking to someone that they're kind of like, it doesn't seem like there's anything too serious going on, or I hope there's nothing too serious going on, but there may be something in terms of like surface level differences where they're like, I'm not really sure if I'm your type, but until I approach and, make a move, make some effort, I'm never going to know. I can sit here wondering forever, but until I say something, until I do something, then it's only going to be a what if. So they've thought about this long and hard, and it feels like when this person approaches, you're going to be able to identify them in terms of like a lot of enthusiasm. They may come on very intensely, they may come on very strong. This may be somebody even that is kind of like prone to sort of nervous chatter. They say a lot when they're nervous. That's just kind of not their personality, but it's almost sort of a mask that they wear. This could be the type of person that might be, sort of shy. They got like social anxiety. And so the way in which they compensate for that with, people they don't know very well, or new people, is they kind of just, they talk. And so, this could be the kind of thing that could be a little off-putting, a little, confusing, or a little bit overwhelming at first, but it feels like this person, it's sort of like they settle down then. If you do kind of choose to talk to them, to get to know them, you'll notice that kind of like nervous chatter, that sort of, filling the comfortable space of silence between the two of you with words, or almost somebody that might like overshare very quickly. And it feels like that is not something that is just usual about them. It's kind of just, again, it's a mask to help them sort of push themselves beyond like shyness or social anxiety. And so there is kind of like a deeper, more quiet, more contemplative version of this person, that if you're able to kind of go the distance beyond that sort of immediate or, interaction or first impression, it feels like that's something that might be a little more appealing, kind of when they relax a little, when they get those reassurances like, okay, yeah, you want to talk to me, I'm not coming across as weird or too much or too talkative even. As you give them an opportunity to kind of settle into themselves, it feels like this is the type of person that you could have like some really interesting conversations with. They're definitely a deep thinker. They might even be an overthinker, which is why there's kind of all of this sort of almost like rumination or scripting. Like they've thought about it 100 different ways, like how to approach. They may even have somebody that they've kind of like confided in. Hey, so there's this girl or there's this guy, and I want to approach. I don't know why. I'm nervous. I don't know what I should do. I don't know if I'm their type. Like somebody is kind of coaching this individual, like, just do it, dude, just say it, just make a move. We also have willow spirit, flexibility. Yeah, so this person, it feels like they don't bring a lot of emotional baggage from the past. It feels like this person, because of that energy of like nervous chatter, social anxiety or being a bit shy, they are used to rejection. Or maybe they have had a lot of kind of like they made the move recently and it hasn't quite connected, it hasn't been a good fit. And so this is somebody, it feels like, that's able to just roll with the punches. This is somebody that's had to kind of like develop a thick skin in that capacity. They are not everybody's cup of tea, but it feels like, if this is something that there's some compatibility between the two of you, or if you're patient enough to kind of wait for this person to sort of get comfortable, settle into the reality of like, okay, there's something here between the two of us, or there's the potential of that, then that might be very refreshing compared to people you dealt with in the past that might have still been like hung up on an ex, or, we're dealing with a lot of sort of wounds inside, kind of hurt people, in various sorts of ways. That might have been your experience with other people that had approached in the past, other people that you were talking to, other people that you were dating. This person is very different from that. They've worked on some things, or again, because of that like shyness or social anxiety, at this point in their life, they're kind of used to being misunderstood by people. So in addition to that kind of like very talkative, very gregarious kind of like first impression, that mask that they wear when they're in sort of unfamiliar territory or meeting new people, there's also this part of them that has learned to kind of compartmentalize and not take so personally rejection. So it feels like this person's going to come on really strong, but they're not going to pester you. Like if you put your foot down and you're just like, I'm not interested, this is somebody that very easily is able to kind of detach. Not that, they don't have these high hopes for this situation and what can develop between the two of you, but this is definitely somebody, that is used to kind of disappointment as far as attempts to connect with other people are concerned. But they also have this hopefulness that like, okay, maybe you're the one. Maybe this is a situation that it will work out. Maybe this is a circumstance where, if you can kind of just stick with me beyond that sort of surface level nervousness and get down to kind of the gold mine inside, this kind of like soft center, these deeper parts of me, maybe that's something that will be pleasing for you. And they are hoping as well that even that kind of surface level mask, that is something that you'll understand, kind of that approach. You'll hold space for that approach. It's like this person has really high hopes, so they're very optimistic, that it's a good idea to approach. They're not sure if they are your type, if the chemistry that they are kind of sensing between the two of you, it's almost like they might be on the brink of like, okay, I can't just sit in this energy any longer, I'm just gonna like fall into limerence, I'm just gonna be like imagining things, I'm gonna build this whole scenario in my head, and that is gonna be something that kind of like takes me off into la la land, and I'll never make a move forward. So this person's like pushing themselves, to say something, to do something, and there's a hopefulness within them that this will not be yet another disappointment or another rejection, another kind of failure to launch, or something where it seemed like there was possibility, but the reality just didn't really match up. Like they're really hopeful that there can be something beautiful between the two of you. But this is also someone, despite that very intense approach, even just energetically speaking, their energy may be very intense. It may kind of like push towards you. So there may be some part of you that is like, whoa, okay, this person is coming on like very strong. Not like love bombing, but just almost like an intensity. Like their eyes may be very intense. Eye contact may be very intense. When they talk, you might almost feel kind of the energy in the room or the situation kind of elevates up to a level where you're kind of like, wow, that's really intense. But again, rest assured that this is just kind of like, this is just how they are when they meet new people. This is just how they are when they are nervous. This is not this person's default personality. This is not the way that they are around like people that they're comfortable with. This is not the way they are around family. So if you're able to kind of get beyond that aspect of them, it feels like it would be worth your while to kind of see sort of what's behind the curtain, what is beyond that sort of surface level presentation of them. And if it's something that, you don't like that, you don't have the time for that, you're not interested, this is also someone that, again, will detach just as kind of like quickly as they come forward, or, very easily will sort of be able to kind of move on, get the hint and move forward, to keep your energy and your life and, your peace of mind free and available for another person to approach. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. Like or comment if you'd like to claim these energies. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more content that I put out here. Don't forget to hit the bell button to get notifications every time I post a new video. And if you'd like to book a personal reading with me, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link for that below. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.